Hi all, my name is Gautam Begde and I welcome you back to my YouTube channel Chatterbot. In today's video, we are going to do a deep dive in one of the solutions listed in the Oracle AI Solutions Hub. That solution is generate SQL queries from natural language using Oracle Autonomous Database Select AI. So in a nutshell, this solution talks about how you can convert the natural language text or natural language query from a user and convert it into an SQL using LLM and then retrieve and then direct the SQL to the Oracle Autonomous Database and then retrieve the answer and have it available for the user. So let's look at the agenda of this video. So we'll start off with the problem statement. Then we'll cover the solution overview at a high level, along with the solution components specific to this problem in the Oracle ecosystem. Then we'll do a solution deep dive where we will look at all the necessary steps required to implement this solution from start to finish. Finally, we'll deploy the solution, run the solution, and validate the results. So this entire process or all these steps would make this a really long video. So I am thinking of breaking this video into multiple videos. Um, so now let's look at the problem statement. So one of the main challenges or big challenges that companies have is that their business users don't have access to relevant, actionable data for very specific business scenarios or needs. Of course, they have access to reports and dashboards, but these reports and dashboards do not always have the relevant data. So, because sometimes business problems are unique, and what happens then is that the business teams have to raise service tickets with technical teams for very small data requests, and this leads to delays and frustration for the business users because they end up with data which is either old or non-actionable at that point of time. So, in order to subvert or as a solution to this problem, what Oracle has is trying to implement or is trying to provide is a way where business users can key in their questions in the natural language, that is in English language, and these queries or these questions will be sent to the database, but not directly through an LLM. And what this LLM will do is that it will convert the natural language question into a SQL query, and this query will then be sent to the database, and the results of the database, results of the query from as retrieved from the database will be sent back to users. So users will be in command for getting the kind of information that they need and as and when they need it. So if you look at the solution overview, it's we partly covered this. So at a nutshell, this is an AI-based solution that converts user query, which I mentioned would be natural language, into a SQL query, and this SQL query is directed to the database, retrieving the required information for the user. So so you see over here, the user provides an NL prompt. It is a natural language prompt or question, and this along with the DB schema metadata converts it into a prompt, and this prompt is then fed to the LLM. So LLM in Oracle world in this solution will be Cohere, and we'll talk more about it in future slides. And then this and the output of this output from the LLM is a SQL query, and this SQL query is fed to the database, and then from the database the results are retrieved and sent back to the user. So now that we have covered the solution at a high level, let's now look at the solution components specific from the Oracle ecosystem. So I have listed over here all the solution components and what is the role of each of these components. So first we have Cohere. So Cohere is the large language model that is the heart of this AI solution. And as discussed, this is the model which will take our prompts and convert them into a SQL query, which will be sent to a database. And the next part of our solution is the Oracle Autonomous Database, which is the database from which the data is retrieved, and that is the database which will receive the SQL query. Then we have something called as a select AI. This is unique to Oracle, and this is used to craft the SQL queries. And we'll see how to use SQL, how to use select AI to generate the SQL queries for retrieving the data. And then this is going to be used in tandem with the DBMS Cloud AI, which is basically used to facilitate and configure the translation of natural language prompts to SQL. And then finally, we have the Oracle Apex, which we will use for UI development. So now let's do a solution deep dive. And on this slide, we list all the steps at a high level for this solution. So first is, of course, we talked about Cohere. So the first step at a high level is to sign up for a Cohere account, and then generate the keys, which you will use to talk to the Cohere LLM as a part of this solution. Then we have autonomous database in which we will set up grants, and we'll see this step by step. We'll also set up network ACL for security. Then we will set up credentials for the users and profiles. We will then set up Cohere profile. We will test our SQL queries. And then I think this is the part that we will conclude this video. And the second part of the video is where we will actually create a user interface using Apex, and then we will run the select AI to view the results. So yeah, and then before we go into this solution or steps for all there are some prerequisites. First of all, of course, you need an active Oracle Cloud account. Then you need access to the Oracle autonomous database, so you can create one once you have an account. And you also need to have the admin access to this particular database. You would need the API keys from Cohere. We'll see how to get this. And then you would need access to a non-admin user for the Apex workspaces. And you would also have to create some tables in the autonomous database, which we from on the basis of which we will be retrieving data. So there will be tables, and we will probably have user prompts, and these prompts will be converted to SQL by the LLM, and these LLMs and the SQL query will then work on these already existing table. So now let's look at the setup needed for using Cohere. So for setting up and using Cohere in this application, you can navigate to the URL provided over here. And once you actually navigate to this URL, you will be asked to either sign in and sign up for an account. Once you have signed up for an account and signed up, you will see a dashboard which looks something like this. And from over here, you can click on the API keys, and you can generate the API keys over here. You would need to actually go ahead and copy these keys to use in your application. You also have an option to use trial keys or production keys. For the purpose of this demo, I am using trial keys, which are free to use. So now let's look at the setup needed for the Oracle Autonomous Database. And I have listed the steps as below. Uh, First is setting up grants for the Apex users, then setting up the network ACL, then create credentials, create profile from credentials, setting up the Cohere profile, then logging in as the Apex user and completing the setup, and then testing. So one thing I want to add over here is that all these steps that we have discussed, so these are available as a GitHub in GitHub, and this is how it looks like. I'll share the link of this in the description as well. So this is a README file which is available on GitHub, which is giving all the steps that you need to follow. So we have talked about the prerequisites that are mentioned over here. Then we talked about the Cohere API keys and how to get them. And then what we will now look at is the setup which is needed from an Oracle autonomous database point of view. So now let's switch our attention to the Oracle Cloud Console. Yeah. So you will see that we have a running autonomous database, and from here we need to click on database actions, and then we need to go to SQL, and basically this is through the admin account. So I have already copied all the commands or all the SQL statements that we need to run as admin. And one thing to note over here is that your consumer group over here should be high. By default, it is low, but it should be high as per the user guide. Just wanted to inform that the Apex user that I am using is called demo user. And now I will go ahead and run these statements. So I'm providing grant on DBMS Cloud and DBMS Cloud AI to the Apex user, which is the demo user. Then, then the next statement is begin DBMS network ACL admin, and I have to uh, basically execute this block of code so that my demo user, which is the Apex user, can communicate with the Cohere LLM using API. The next command is actually to basically create credentials within DBMS for the Cohere LLM, and you need to provide the key over here. That is the key you pick up from the account you created previously. So I will not run this command because I already have done this. And then after that, what you do is you have to create your Cohere profile on DBMS AI Cloud, and then provide access to tables. So we talked earlier that there are some tables, that is our bank customers and US hospitals. So these need to be created as a prerequisite before if you would want to access these tables with the help of Cohere. So I will be getting error because my public profile of Cohere already exists. So once you have completed this step, you need to log out and log back in as the demo user, that is the Apex user that you created. And once you log back in, you need to create your AI, basically your Cohere profile again, and then you need to set the Cohere profile again as a part of the set your profile again. So we will run these two statements. These are available on the GitHub link that I will share. And I see an error here because this profile already exists. And then we will go ahead and set this profile for this particular user. And then in the next step, which is the select DBMS Cloud AI Generate, this is where we will see how when we ask a particular question in natural language, and the question over here is the prompt, which is what is the total number of customers, and then we attach the profile name Cohere, and then we provide an action. So the action over here is to show the SQL query, not really give the actual count of the customers, but to show us the query. So what this particular statement does is that it will pick up this prompt, it will go to the profile Cohere, see the tables that or the objects it has access to. So if you see over here, this has access to the objects R bank underscore customers and US underscore hospitals. So what you see over here is that based on this particular prompt, the LLM, which is Cohere in this case, will be able to traverse through all the tables that it has access to, and it will pick up the correct table, and it will provide us the query um, to um, to retrieve the total number of customers. So let's run this and see. Yeah. So the query is over here. If you see the query, it says select count customer ID as total customers from RB Bank underscore customers. So it has rightly gone to the correct table, and it has select provided us the total customers as the count of the customer ID. So this is I mean, this is a demonstration of how a simple question by a user was converted into a SQL query. In the next video, we will look at how we will be using this query, and then we will be building a user interface using Apex, and then use this query and then present the output of this query as the actual response to the question, that what is the total number of customers. So that in all will complete the flow from how a user can provide a simple question on the UI and then get a response back to it while traversing through the LLM and the database. So that's what I wanted to cover in today's video. Please stay tuned for the next video where we will conclude the entire setup and build a UI and see how the data can be retrieved back to the user. So thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.